We're going to jump into the law of explosive growth. Leaders come with followers anyway. So
Hmm.
if I'm leading leaders, that's it's going to exponentially grow my organization anyways, cuz right? Like there's just more eyeballs on this organization because leaders have followers. And so if I'm training other leaders, those followers, potentially that leader is going to now train another leader, and now those have an opportunity. You see how this web just keeps going wider and wider, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, look at what's going on here.
The fact that we're all different is what makes us special. And having a leader that knows how to recognize these differences, I believe that's key. And it marks the difference between being just a leader that will have followers and being a leader that will have leaders following them as well.
The point
Hmm.
is, and this is the question, what's more important, our personal goals in this organization or for the team goals for the organization? What's more important,
Team,
personal goals or
team,
team goals for the
Teamwork,
organization?
team.
team goals.
Team goals. Team goals. It's about the team. If the team doesn't succeed, you may be out of a job. Like your personal goals are no longer even interesting anymore because you no longer have a place to work. It's about the success of the organization, the team, right? And if you're not bought into the team and what the team is doing and you're off of it, then you're influencing them in the wrong way.
And it's simple. Is it about you or is it about other people? Is it about your ego? Because creating followers, he said it's about ego.
What do you do if you have a team member that is not bought into the culture on that exponential growth and is not, can you get that person back in line? Can you then lead them to be a leader?
There are skills that can be learned. If you look at the list, right, it's all the stuff that he teaches essentially. So what he's saying is that it can be learned over time.
It's about asking the right questions to guide that person. And that's a struggle because now you have to think what questions to ask to guide that person to the right place without telling them the answer, but being nice as well. And it's like that's a lot of work too, right?
I believe that at some point culture has to do a lot with values as well and how you behave. So to me, at some point, you can try to influence them and try to connect with them to create a relationship that will lead them to build more relationships with the team. However, if their values are intrinsically or not aligned with what we do or with the culture that you're trying to um, blend them together, I mean, it's just not gonna work. It's just like you have two forces that are just not gonna work out.
And so if we want to lead leaders, we got to make sure that they're bought in. We got to make sure that they understand what we're doing here.
I think the go figure it out. It's all about that. It's not about letting others struggle, or it's because you don't want to help them, or you're too busy, or you want to do something else, or it's about letting them um, face their opportunities and learn from them. Because when you do something because someone else told you, now you're like a parrot, right? You know what to do and when to do it because they told you how to do it and when to do it. But when you're given a task and you have to like kind of do the research and go through all the process and the challenges that takes to get something done, um, is that's how you learn for forever.
So, in trying to lead people to the right answer by asking questions, it's incredibly difficult. Or the time that it spends when somebody asks for something and you get to go figure it out, and then you got to go back and how did you figure it out? And you go through the step-by-step process, and then maybe they made a mistake and you have to go through that with them and figure it out. It's a lot more complicated and a lot more detail-oriented than anybody can imagine. But that's why I sit there and I look around, and it's one of the things I'm most proud of in the organization. Right? I don't have people. I have people that are leaders.
I'm very proud of our culture and our shared values. For example, when I'm on the road, I challenge people. I say, call our company, call customer service and ask them what our shared values are, and they'll be able to tell you. at least what our first shared value is. Why? Because that's the people we want to attract. It's important to us. That's what we live. That's what we train. That's how we act. That is, it's not what we say or the writing on the wall. It's literally what we like behavior we want. So,
and that's the definition culture. And I love that you mentioned that, right? It's not what we say. It's not what's written on the wall. It's how we behave. It's how we act.